past and previous generations and also the ones that we have also created. Because you ask yourself exactly, the generations ahead, what exactly was left on ground for the Nigerian youth? And now we are stuck in a situation where we need to now begin to unravel this thing. Unfortunately for Nigeria, there is no worst case scenario, because the fact that things are this bad do not mean it will not become worse for us as a people. That is why the Nigerian youth today has been scrambling for whatever solution they can hang on. We came up with NSAS, they fired live arms at us. We came up with Bad governance, they decided to arrest us. As we are talking, there are some Bad governance, NSAS protesters who are still in prison. As we are talking, more than 5 years, going to 5 years after that protest. In fact, the Lagos state government has not even agreed to how many persons' bodies were found in the morgue who turned off the lights. It is still a challenge. So when you see the burden that is on the Nigerian youth, but my plea and my call, what I have been seeking and becoming almost a broken record, is that we must be strategic. If you go on social media, you hear certain persons begin to tell you about revolution now, my uncle Showore, who I so much respect. The question you will ask yourself is, if there is a revolution today, and for example, the president leaves, who takes over? That is the vice president, Shetima. The third in succession is Akpabio, or you want to go through the military route. And even when there is a total removal of, you must still have an electoral process where somebody who has the legitimacy to rule or lead will be brought in. So if you look at our entire dilemma, it boils back to an electoral process. That is why what I'm doing now is citizen sensitization. I will personally take a letter to the National Assembly in due course. I will begin my own one-man protest, because that is the only way we can begin to unravel this. When everybody in Nigeria begins to sing about INEC and elections, they will get the point. President Tinubu knows. God's will Akpabio, the Senate president, knows.
Okay. So you feel we should attack from base. In other words, when I say attack, not literally, but let's focus the problem. Let's focus attention on the problem, and the problem here is the base.
Yes.
Is the way that politicians
get into power. Look, forget about anything economy. Don't talk about, if President Tinubu does not want to fix inflation, let him not fix. If he doesn't want to fix insecurity, let him not fix.
Let's start.
Get a means to hold him accountable in 2027 and see. Let a politician know that this system can bring me in and this system can take me out. Then go there and don't deliver. Good number of Nigerians are aware of the issues that bedeviled every Nigerian. The question is, what is the solution and how do we approach this solution? We have over time decided to take on this knee-jerk reaction to protest and mass protest. Whenever something comes up, hit the streets and make a demand. But over time we have seen that it has been proven not to be very effective, because the government will come out and tell you, okay, is it end bad governance? Don't worry, we'll release the cost of rice, we will release bags of rice to you and all of that, and then everybody goes in. And there is also a bad side, because there is protest fatigue. When you call out people for a protest and then it does not meet the target, the danger in it is that you fall short of getting that kind of mass support in a second call. That was what happened with NSAS. Now, what the call for Nigerians will be, every sector in Nigeria is in trouble. The only systems that are doing well is corruption and criminality. There have been in fact, within the last 1 week, more than 150 persons have been killed in Plateau alone. And the president is still out of the country since the 2nd of April. This is the same president who criticized Jonathan and say, when it comes to security, the buck stops at the president's desk. Today, the president is missing in action when citizens are being slaughtered in the most gruesome manner. Why? Because he knows that, of course, it has no implication to his 2027 agenda. Travel through Abuja and Lagos, you will see placards of President Tinubu talking about 2027. So Nigerians will now have to decide what are our problems and what is the first step to beginning our findings or solutions, because you can't solve all. We take on one that gives you the foundation to begin to change others. That is where the Nigerian youth conversation must be centered on at this point.